This is the intro. Oh, wrong one. This is the intro. This is the second one. This is the third one. This is the fourth one. The fifth one. And the sixth. Then the seventh. You now imagine a classroom where students are brilliant, but no one listens, where every correction feels like an attack, where being right matters more than being kind. Now imagine a different classroom where students ask questions without fear, where students admit their mistakes, where students grow together. The difference? Humility. Today, I want to persuade you that humility should be intentionally taught in modern education, not as a side effect of good behavior, but as a core virtue that shapes how we learn, how we lead, and how we live together. Humility makes students more open to feedback, more resilient after failure, more willing to revise their thinking. Psychologist June Tangney found that humility is linked to emotional intelligence, is linked to leadership, and is linked to openness to learning, not weakness, but strength. In diverse classrooms, humility fosters respect across differences in social and cultural just if you just foster humility just fosters respect across different cultural differences. It just there's a social and cultural unity when humility comes into the play. Cultural humility was defined by Forunder in 2016 as an ongoing process of self-reflection and openness. It is not about knowing everything, it's about being teachable. Christian Sin argues that humility is a teachable virtue rooted in Aristotelian ethics. It is not just a feeling, it's a habit formed through practice and community norms. How can we teach virtue? How can we teach humility as a virtue? Humility is not low self-esteem, it is accurate self-assessment and openness to others. Greater good in education defines humility as balancing confidence with curiosity and empathy. We have to model we have to model humility with our teachers. Teachers have to be able to model humility, admit when they're wrong, invite student input, celebrate growth over perfection. We need to use peer feedback. We need to practice humility. We need to reflective journal. We need to serve. We need to we need to use service learning projects that reward listening, revising, and serving others. We need to assess humility. We need to track behaviors in regards to humility. We need to track behaviors like openness to feedback. We need to track behaviors like willingness to revise, respectful dialogue. We're not just tracking grades, we're tracking behaviors that show growth in humility. From a Christian perspective, humility is not optional, it's foundational. C.S. Lewis wrote that humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. Philippians 2, Philippians chapter 2, verse 3 to 4 says, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself. Teaching humility aligns with Christian call to love our neighbors, serve with recognition, and seek truth over ego. In Christian education, humility is a way of life. But even in secular settings, it's a virtue that builds stronger communities and wiser students. We do not need to we do not need more students who always have the right answer. We need students who ask better questions. We need students who teach. We need students who grow. We need students who lead with grace. Teaching humility in modern education is not just possible, it's essential. It improves learning, deepens relationships, it forms character. It prepares students not just to succeed but to serve. So here's my challenge to you. Whether you're a teacher, student, or future leader, start modeling humility. Build it in your classroom, make it part of your curriculum, because the future does not need louder voices. The future needs wiser ones.